Good day, welcome again. For today's video, I want to start talking about different terminologies that are used in the space and the arena of gender-based violence. There are many terms that are used, and we talk about gender-based violence and use that and assume that everybody understands that we are on the same page around that. But we also hear other terms being used. And I'm just going to highlight a few referring to violence against women and children, femicide, intimate partner violence, domestic violence, and gender-based violence. So violence against women and children is just what it said. It's violence, and the victim are women and children. So it is defined as behavior or violent behavior involving physical force, which is intended, which means aimed at, and the intention is to hurt, to damage, or to kill someone or something. So, but it's aimed at women and it's aimed at children specifically. The second term that I want to highlight there is the issue around femicide. Now, femicide is generally understood to involve intentional murder of women because they are women. And broader definitions also include the killing of girls. So femicide focuses specifically on the killing of women because they are female. Then the third term that we find and engage with in the space of gender-based violence is the one that is referred to as intimate partner violence. And it is described as physical, sexual violence, stalking, psychological aggression by a current or a former intimate partner. So it's not just anybody, it's violence that happens within the context of two people being or having been intimate partners. The next one is domestic violence. Now, domestic violence is just what it says. It's violence in the context of a domestic relationship. Now, in South Africa, we have the Domestic Violence Act that specifies and highlights exactly what domestic violence entails, the different elements thereof. It also specifies the domestic relationship as it is seen within the context of that particular law. And then the last term that I want to highlight is the term that we have now become acquainted with and familiar with, gender-based violence. Now, for the most part, gender-based violence, in my view, includes all of that. It's more like an umbrella term for all of that. However, the one thing that is clear in terms of the use of gender-based violence is that it's violence against women and violence against women and children on the basis that it is a man committing such violence. So that man, the male figure, intentionally and deliberately commits violence against somebody else who is a female or a child or a girl. So it's basically highlighting the issue of one gender against the other gender. Now, gender-based violence is a term that we then, and even in the context of South Africa, use almost daily. But in the context of the law, the Domestic Violence Act specifies all of the different categories. And during the next video, I will then go into the specifics and begin to talk about domestic violence and what exactly that entails. I thank you for today.